Hi, everyone. This is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. And I know my voice does not sound normal tonight. I have been sick for the last couple of weeks and feeling much better. Um, but I'm very excited to be with y'all this evening. We are going to be talking about Scorpio season 2021. And of course, I'll be pulling some angel cards to get us a little bit deeper insight into Scorpio energy. This is not all of the Scorpio energy. There is so much out there um, to talk about that I've only got a few days worth of it that I've got to tell you. Hi, Miss Carmen. How are y'all doing? Hi, Myra. How are y'all doing? So we are talking about Scorpio season, and that actually starts tomorrow, October 22nd, and runs until November 21st. Scorpio season kind of normally is a really easy time for us. It's kind of like things are pointed out, but it's not as topsy-turvy as this one is going to be for most people. This Scorpio season is going to be kind of like an emotional roller coaster for most people. This is going to be kind of like up and down and back and forth and all kinds of different energy in there. So this is just something like really to be aware of. We have a lot of energy that is still out there in play planetary wise, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But Mercury just came out of full retrograde a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. I'm trying to think. And then it'll be in post shadow until November 2nd. So it's one of those. And I'm going to explain this really quickly. It's one of those when a planet goes into retrograde, you have pre shadow where it starts to slow down. And then you have full retrograde where it's like, looks like it's completely stopped, and that energy that it would normally be pushing at us in a positive way is pushing at us in a negative way. And then it goes into post shadow, so it's kind of like now you're dealing with this kind of like it's starting to speed up, but it's not completely moving forward the way it should be, or is normal energy. So Mercury is kind of this really interesting energy, and it still has a lot of energy over our communication until November 2nd. And that's going to be affecting communication, not only over the phone, text messaging, emailing. You're more likely to have people kind of like misunderstand, or kind of like, I don't really understand what you're talking about, or they think one thing and you're talking about something completely different. So this is going to be something really strong. Hi, guys. Let's see. Scorpios is going to have like this really forceful, intense energy, will be kind of like taking a leap at us starting tomorrow, and will kind of reflect this kind of like throwing us in the wash bucket, and kind of like things that are going to be really strong for us. We're going to have that kind of like deeper dive into kind of like more emotions, more things that are coming at us. So just know that this is not only working for us, but it's also working for everybody else. So things are going to be more emotional. And the Scorpio energy for this season is going to be kind of like take no prisoners attitude. We will be making for sure some keeping some beneficial energy with us, but we might find ourselves like cleaning out our closets, getting rid of things that don't work anymore, keeping the beneficial energy but throwing everything else out. This could be also getting us to think about like new career options, releasing toxic relationships. I've already seen this come into Megan, you're so funny. I know you have a lot of roller coasters, Megan, but we've got one more. But I guarantee you, if you've been doing what you know you should be doing and releasing energy, it's not going to be as bad. What it's going to be really intense for a lot of people is that they haven't been working on things or releasing things that aren't working for them. And that goes in for toxic relationships, career-wise, friendships that no longer work, any of those that have kind of been hanging on and you kind of been like limping along in that relationship. This is the time that it's probably going to break. Scorpio season will assist you to get rid of whatever is unnecessary. Be sure to be kind to yourself as you release things. Sometimes people are like, oh, I should have done that years ago. And that's a great sentiment, but it's one of those, you might not have been ready. You might not have been ready to release that energy at that time. So be kind to yourself as you go through this. This is a great time also to do like cleansing rituals. Take time to understand what your responsibility in the relationship or the situations are. Take your fair share of the credit and leave everything else to everybody else. It doesn't belong to you. So let's talk a little bit about kind of like all of this retrograde energy. So, like I said, we had Mercury come out of retrograde not too long ago, full retrograde, and now it's in post shadow. So it's starting to speed back up, but it's still affecting us. Let's see. As of October 2nd, we had Pluto come out of retrograde, and it is in post shadow now until January 25th, 2022. And that's kind of like pushing a lot of energy for a lot of different people. I think that's kind of interesting. And this energy has been very transformative during this retrograde season. It's been in retrograde for quite a while, and it's changing energy. And it's kind of getting us ready to kind of like move forward as well. This is something, Pluto in retrograde, because it's so far out there, you see this more dealing with governments, world issues, that sort of thing, more than just like individual. You'll see it individually, but not as often. And then we have Saturn, who just came out of retrograde. Um, let's see. Saturn came out of retrograde October 10th. So it's officially in post shadow as well until January 15th. And Saturn kind of jumped into two different signs. Right now it's in the sign of Aquarius. And it's kind of like ruling over like life lessons, discipline, and karma. Saturn is all about karma. So if you've seen karma kind of kick someone else's booty, just know that that's still in play. There are a lot of people that I've seen kind of karma kick them. It's not anything that I've done. It's just one of those. It's kind of like, okay, you've been a bad person, or you've been not really done what you're supposed to do. And so that's kind of like kicking them in the butt, kind of like, let's clear out this energy. It also kind of, Saturn also cleans out personal blockages, and then make sure that you're taking responsibility for your fair share of what's not working. It's really interesting in this energy. Saturn kind of changed, like I said, changed the world vibes, and it's kind of pushing this energy in on everybody until it's get completely out of retrograde, and that's not until January of next year. So know that this is kind of like crushing everybody's energy of coming together. Everybody has to come together all at the same time. Pushing this energy is going to be really, really great for most people. And it's kind of showing your mistakes, where you've made mistakes in the past. And like I said, take your responsibility and move forward. Jupiter just came out of retrograde a couple of days ago on October 18th. And it will be in post shadow until January 8th. And so this kind of energy is really, really strong with Jupiter. We have, for quite a while, we've had Jupiter and Saturn square each other. It's kind of like, like pushing into each other, kind of pushing that energy towards each other to kind of like, what can we change together? What can we work together and do and change and modify? It's been in Aquarius since July 28th, and it'll stay in Aquarius until December 28th, and then it'll put back into Pisces again. These energies are kind of still in play, and they are still affecting most of us. Like I said, Mercury came out of retrograde on the 18th. It will stay in post shadow until November 2nd. And this one is in the sign of Libra. And this is all about kind of like getting to the root of issues, kind of issues like deep down, underground, kind of like, what is the motivation behind this, or why are we doing this, or why did this person do this? So you're going to kind of see a lot of people going through that kind of like unwrapping, or kind of digging down into those really deep emotions for a lot of people. And it's really a good time to kind of like, if it's my fault, take your blame, you can go through a clearing exercise with that and kind of move through that, and then move into what's coming up next. Actually, just a couple of days ago, we had our full moon, and it was in a full blood moon. Even tonight, it has a beautiful kind of yellow orangey glow to it. So it's really still in that full moon energy. This is kind of, and this is in the sign of Aries. So it's kind of like this Aries kind of intense energy. Our goals will be under fire, and we'll be asking our leaders to kind of step up and kind of do what they are supposed to do or do what they promised, which I think is always a good thing. A lot of times when people really kind of get into this energy of these Aries moons, especially an Aries full moon, it's all about having people want to avoid the drama but not being able to. So it's going to kind of keep them in the flow of the drama energy until they release, kind of like, oh, I knew I was supposed to do this, or I knew I was supposed to kind of step up and be this type of leader, but I wasn't. So you're going to see a lot of that over the next 30 days or so. You're going to, I think one of the things that's going to be kind of interesting is a lot of people are going to be, like I said, feeling this need to be like in control. So you're going to have a lot more people wanting to step forward, kind of stepping into this leadership role, or kind of like kind of throwing their hat into like, I'm ready to, I want to run for this office, or I want to run for that office, and kind of stepping into that energy of what's coming up next. And I want to be not necessarily in control, but kind of what's coming up next for us. And kind of, I want to be on the strong side of that. So let's talk about a couple of these planets in retrograde and get you some information. So let's talk about, I think Pluto was my Saturn. Pluto was my first. So let's pull a couple of angel cards for Pluto real quick and kind of see what other information is out there for Pluto. So Pluto has the card of signs, and this is all about, there are signs out there of what you should be getting involved with, what should be generating for other people, what is coming through for other people, and kind of really listening to those inner signs, that inner energy that's coming through. That's going to be a really interesting one for a lot of people as they start to listen to this inner side. The next one for Pluto is all about romance. Pluto kind of makes a couple of connections with Virgo over the next few weeks. And so romance is going to be on the rise. That is going to be a really fun one. Romance is going to be on the rise. You're going to see a lot of people meeting new people for the first time, or starting to date for the first time. So it's going to kind of be like, wow, I didn't even really think this person was interested in me, and now we're dating. So that's going to be a really interesting energy. And that's all Pluto energy coming at us. Next, let's go into Saturn. And like I said, Saturn is all about karma and releasing this kind of this hold that we've had for a while. Saturn talks about focus. What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to focus in on? What are you willing to take advantage of at this time is going to be working for you faster, easier in Saturn in retrograde over the next few months until it's out, I think, January 15th. So it's going to be really amazing energy of working on your karma stuff. Like, what are you willing to let go of? The next card is enchantment. Enchantment is all about kind of like seeing things like through the eyes of a child, or kind of like that, like, I'm so excited about what's about to happen, or I'm excited about what's could be coming in. And that kind of comes in with Saturn because kids are always like kind of very observant. And I think that's kind of like the way I think about Saturn is very, observant, and always kind of like, what do we need to let go of, or what do we need to release, or where is the karma being held? So letting that go and moving forward in all of this. Hi, Miss Grace. Thank you very much. I know I've been sick forever, it seems like, and I'm finally getting better. Although hopefully my voice will stay with us through tonight. Jupiter is next. Let's see, let's pull a couple of cards for Jupiter's energy. Jupiter's all about friendships. This comes in more in play now that Jupiter is in the sign of Aquarius. And this is kind of making those, as it makes squares to both Uranus and some other ones, you're going to see some really friendship weirdness coming in. And this is all about talking about politics. People that would normally not be friends, or normally would not think that they would be friends, they're friends. That's going to be the interesting one. And you're going to see that kind of coming to the forefront. I am not a political person, so I try to stay out of that as much as possible. I just think it's interesting when they go, oh, I don't know that person at all. And then comes out later that they're friends. The next one for Jupiter is all about abundance. Jupiter loves to make things grow. And right now in retrograde, it's things are kind of like growing, but you're not really seeing it. It's kind of like the seed is underground and you can't see underneath it. But don't dig down because it's going to be coming forward. And once we hit this January timeframe, you're going to see things explode. Things like small businesses starting to explode. You're going to see small businesses kind of really start to take over. I've seen this in many realms over the last few weeks that a lot of people are pulling away from bigger businesses, not wanting to shop at the big stores. They want to like shop at the little stores. So I think that's really kind of cool. So let's pull a couple of cards for Mercury in retrograde. Like I said, these are all in post shadow right now. So the first one I get from Mercury in retrograde is all about new love. And there's going to be some new love interest coming in as well. Mercury makes some connections to Venus over the next couple of weeks or so. I know it's over the next couple of days, and I think it's the next 2 weeks. You're going to see some new loves coming out. And then you're also going to have this energy of kind of like, what do we want to bring in new? And it may not be a new love. It could be something that you find a new book or you find a new series or something that you really love. The next one for Mercury in retrograde is all about miracles. I know people go, Mercury in retrograde and miracles. Like, no. Mercury comes in with amazing energy. So many people are afraid of Mercury in retrograde. They're like, oh my gosh, I have so many problems and I have so many communication issues. Well, that's the point of Mercury going in retrograde, is to teach you those lessons so you can make clear communications with other people around you, so you can make that really great connection to others. That's the really cool part. That's going to make your communication later on in life work easier. Like, I've already learned, this is the way I need to communicate with this person. This is the way I need to deal with this person. It makes it much easier. So let's pull some energy cards for our full blood moon that was on October 20th. And the first one I get is playfulness. There is a lot of energy in play, although Aries usually has some pretty strong energy and kind of puts things under fire. If you've been doing your work, this is going to be playful. This is going to be light and easy. This is not going to be a harsh energy. This is not going to be overwhelming for us. Let's see. I would also say this would be a time for this blood moon. You can either go into drama or you can go into harmony. The drama is going to be not taking control of what you need to take control of. Harmony is going to be like, I'm taking my fair share of what's going on and moving forward. That's going to be the really cool part. So let's talk over the next couple of days. Starting tomorrow, I am going to do a live meditation tomorrow evening starting at 9. I'm going to talk about some of the energy that we're talking about, and then we're going to move into that and do probably a 10 to 15 minute meditation online. Hopefully y'all will join me. If not, if y'all are busy, got other things going on, it will be on my live shows. But tomorrow is going to be pretty intense energy. On Friday, October 22nd, we have Mars that forms an alliance with Pluto. And this is going to kind of bring in some positive energy and kind of pushing some energy at our Taurus moon at the same time. As we do, this is going to set the stage for some heavy chaotic energy to bring in. And this is going to be kind of like planetary wise. All of these most of these planets are not Mercury. Mars is pretty far out. Pluto's pretty far out. And then we've got our moon into play as well. And our moon in the sign of Taurus is going to be very strong. If you haven't already felt it, it's coming at you. It is going to be really strong. This is going to be an overpowering energy. And I also get that this is going to come in mainly with governments being dominant. Like, I'm in charge over my country. You can't be in charge over my country, and kind of like setting those boundaries with other countries as well. You've seen this a lot with other countries like having riots about like, I don't want to do this, or we don't want the shot, we do want the shot, whatever it is. You're going to see a lot of that energy in play, and a lot of the governments now going, I want my own authority. I'm not doing what someone else told me to do. I'm doing what I want to do. Let me pull a couple of cards for this one, because this one's a really intense energy. The first card I get is trust, and to trust that this energy is coming forward to kind of our betterment. Like I said, even if planets in retrograde have a really good sign for us, really good information for us. And when we really listen to it, when we really listen and keep our energy on the positive side, that's why we're doing the meditation tomorrow night. It's going to be pushing more positive energy so people feel like they can get their side heard. Retreat. This is all about meditation. This is taking time for yourself. If the drama gets too much, or it gets overwhelming for you, make sure that you are taking some time to yourself, some retreat time. Meditation is always a really great thing to kind of take a step back and do a meditation from time to time. It's not a retreat forever. It's a retreat for a little bit to kind of get your wits about you. I'm going to pull one more card here. This one is popping forward. Balance. This is all about bringing balance back, not only to the United States, but to other countries as well, and kind of feeling that they're in authority over what's going on in their own government, what's going on with their own people, and the people's voice being heard. So we're kind of bringing that all back into balance with all of this, which is a really good thing. It's one of those, it's a really positive thing for people's voices to get heard, no matter what happens. The more people that get heard, the more people can change or modify things. Let's go into Saturday's energy. This is October 23rd. Our sun enters the sign of Scorpio. And then we've also got our moon's moving into the sign of Gemini. And this is really important because we're going to be talking about like contracts and alliances. This moon also aligns with Saturn, so you're going to probably see some karma coming at a few people. This is not a time to be a procrastinator. Even if you don't feel well or you're going through something, make sure that you're making a list of things that you want to take care of when you feel better, making sure that you're combining this really good favorable energy into projects and things that are important to you, things that you want to take care of, things that you want to move forward, things that you're ready to bring forward. The first card I pulled for this one is all about dreams, and this is really intense right now. We still do have Neptune in retrograde, and I will be doing another dream interpretation in a couple of weeks, and I'll let everybody know about that. It'll be really fun. I think the last one was really fun. I think we had like 7 or 8 different people's dreams interpreted online, and so that was really fun. But our dreams really tell us so many messages and tell us so much information. Dreams are all about kind of like our inner self working on things, and this is coming forward. With this one, it's literally about our moon in the sign of Gemini, and kind of like the 2 phases of Gemini. Geminis always have 2 faces, kind of like the happy and the sad all at the same time. And this is going to be taking advantage of the current energy that's in flow right now. But it's not about forgetting your troubles or anything else. It's all about getting a different perspective. Like, I only see it one way, even if it's always positive, to see that negative side as well. Let's move in to Sunday, October 24th. We are going to have our Gemini moon combining with Venus and Neptune. This is what I was talking about. Venus is all about love, and Neptune is all about kind of that dreamy blue planet of what's coming up next, kind of fun and games. This is a great time to kind of start thinking about vacations, thinking about them, kind of like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? This is going to kind of put us postponement on major decisions, purchases, or signing contracts, because we have so much energy at play over the next few days. This is not the time to sign a new contract. Don't take anyone or anything too seriously. It's going to be really hard, and you're going to be disappointed. That's the sad part, is you're going to be disappointed in all of this. This is a really good time to take, like I said, a step back. This is kind of a great time to kind of spend quality time with your friends and family, and take a little bit of a retreat on Sunday. The card I get is kind of surrender and release, and kind of it's kind of like surrendering to this energy of what's going on, all of this energy that's in play. Planning things that are ready to go, you're ready to kind of work into, or I really want to do this, but it's also releasing anything that isn't working. Anything that isn't working for you, make sure that you're pushing that energy away, so you can be like, I'm letting this go. I'm not holding on to that negative energy anymore. My next one, I've got a couple of them jumping for this one. This also comes in with a lot of blessings for people. If you, like I said, if you have been doing your work, if you have been releasing the energy that you should be releasing, this is the time that you're kind of be like, I've got this covered. Many blessings are coming in for so many people. So many blessings are coming in as we kind of make decisions. It's one of those, like I said, we're going to be postponing major decisions and purchases and contract signing, but those are going to kind of come in as a blessing of like in disguise. We thought this was going to be a good thing to sign this contract, and then we'll find out that it was better that we didn't. And so these are blessings in disguise coming for us. Some really interesting energy for us. I've got one more card. If y'all have any questions over this, ask me anything. I will answer it. If you have any questions over our Scorpio season, our next card is ideas and inspiration. And during this time frame, you're going to have these ideas, and that's why I said, like, write them down. You're going to have some amazing energy coming at you of what to do next, where to go, where do you want to go on vacation, all of these things. Inspiration ideas will be hitting us. If you don't have time to do all of them, write them down, because this is going to be something that's going to be really great, not only for us, but other people as well. If y'all have any questions over the last couple of days, if you have any questions about Scorpio season that will be with us for the next 30 days, like I said, October 22nd through November 21st. And it's going to be a really topsy-turvy roller coaster kind of energy, but in a good way. Where can I find the link to tomorrow night's? It's the same thing. I will be on live on all three platforms. I will be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So I will be on there. If you cannot join us, Carmen, or something happens, I will also, I'm crossing my fingers, because I will be not only on all three of those, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I will also try to be do a separate meditation, just the meditation itself, and put that on YouTube later on in the evening tomorrow night. So those will be, you'll get the meditation with my explanation on it, and then you'll just have the meditation itself. So we will be live on there. I will also be doing my healing bowl. So that's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm working on the sound and see how that works with everybody. But the tomorrow night's meditation is going to be really strong. And it's all about kind of like taking that retreat for yourself and making the most of the energy that's coming forward. I have gotten several messages to do meditations live. I've been asked by many clients to do this. So this is my first of hopefully many. And we are not sure what my team and I think what our calendar or schedule is going to be like for this, but we are very excited about trying to do meditations live, especially with our healing bowls, because sometimes the sound can be a little crazy. Any other questions for you guys? Anything else that I can answer over Scorpio season? Any other questions? Anything else? You can dream more, Miss Megan. It's one of those, but Neptune's still in retrograde, I want to say until like December 2nd, is in full retrograde. And Neptune really affects people's dreams more than anything else. So when I announce in a couple of weeks, it will not be next week doing the dream interpretation. It'll probably be the first or second week in November. But make sure that you submit your dream to me. Make sure that it's an email that you can answer during the day, because I know people like work and do crazy stuff like that, because I'll have to ask you several questions, make sure I get all the information that I require, and then we will do the dream interpretation on live. And so that will be really, really fun. Dream interpretation is something that a lot of people ask me about. I do have clients that contact me daily about their dreams, about information. They'll get, like, they have some really crazy fun dreams. And so they will contact me about their dreams, or what does it mean? How do we do this? How do we do this? What does this mean? So I think that's the really cool part about dream interpretation. Not everybody has the ability to dream interpret. I don't know why. I always have. I think it's kind of fun. But dreams are something that come through with a lot of information, and it really plays into what's coming, saying, like, kind of like, what are you working through at the time? So Carmen is asking, if you could give one piece of advice to get through Scorpio season, what would it be? Okay. That is an amazing question, Carmen. I love that. So Carmen is asking, what piece of advice would I give to work through Scorpio season? What would it be? So what I would say is the best thing that you can possibly do to work through Scorpio energy easiest is when an issue, problem, situation, anything that comes up that's negative, or you would think like this isn't a good thing, sit down, like go through the energy of it, of where is my fair share of what went wrong. If Carmen and I had a miscommunication, we could sit down and say, I thought you said we're meeting at the park. And Carmen said, no, I thought we were meeting at the parking lot, and we miscommunicated. And so now we can come together and understand communication easier, and we can take blame for it. I so apologize that I was wrong. I apologize. Those sort of things is going to be easiest for everybody to work through if you're taking your fair share of the blame. A lot of times people go, it's not me, it's them. Or people will tell me, like, it's all my husband's fault, or it's all my wife's fault, or it's all so-and-so's fault. A relationship is an equal sign. It has always been an equal sign. One person plus another person equals a relationship. And if you're not taking your fair share of the blame for what's going wrong, or your blame for what's going right, you're not taking your fair share, and that's going to cause a lot of conflict, and it's going to cause a lot of drama, trauma, and issues during this Scorpio season. So the best thing that you can do is to take your fair share of what's going on and push that energy forward. Pushing that energy forward is going to be amazing. When you take your fair share of the blame, I don't care if it's a coworker, your best friend, a student, an employee, whatever it is, when you take your fair share of what's going on, it makes everything. You're right. It's rather than blame, it's the responsibility, because so many people want to blame everybody else for what's going wrong. It's one of those, it's all your fault, or it's all their fault, or it's all someone else's fault. And when someone says that, literally my little radar detector goes, wait. No. It can't be everything, can't be someone else's fault. It just can't work that way. It can't be everybody else's fault. And the more times I hear this, I was talking to a client a couple of days ago, and she was like, I started dating this person and I could just tell that they were lying to me. Right there, you should have said, hold on, I feel like you're lying to me, and I have now two choices. I can stay in this relationship and know that you've lied to me, or I can walk away. When you take that kind of responsibility in your own actions every day, it changes the world. It's one of those, I would not want to be in a relationship with someone who is taking all the focus, or they're taking it's all the good stuff is theirs and all the bad stuff is mine. It's not the way it works. It's one of those, take your responsibility for what's going on in your life, and that's going to make it absolutely perfect. So take your responsibility where you've made mistakes, where you can fix things and change things. to me, that's the best thing you can do is when anything goes wrong, look at your side, look at your responsibility for it. And I'm willing to go, this is mine, this is yours. This is mine, this is yours. And look at it completely and going, I'm willing to take my fair share of the responsibility and leave everything else to the other person. And it makes life so much easier, but it's going to get you through this Scorpio season with ease. It's going to make things easier. If you're starting to have problems, go back to this lesson of taking the responsibility for what's yours. Own your own stuff. Own what's, you're right, Carmen. Own your own stuff. Own what's coming to you. And a lot of times when you look at it, it's been your stuff for a long time. It's not just been like, oh, one time I was at fault over this. No, you've probably been over fault over this several times. And when you take your responsibility for this, it makes life so much easier. And karma's not going to jump on you as much. Karma can jump on you like crazy when you're not taking your fair share of the responsibility. Thank y'all so much for this evening. I so appreciate all of y'all. Carmen, I thank you so much for all of your beautiful comments. I bless y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow night at 9 p.m. I will be doing the meditation. I will be on live doing this great, amazing meditation to kind of set our energy just straight. And it is going to be phenomenal. I am so excited. Y'all join me this evening. I will see y'all tomorrow night at 9. And if not, I will see you next week for Thursday Night Live. Y'all have a great week.